This is the overview of chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita. Previous chapter, chapter 13, described the conditioned soul as distinct from material nature, yet entangled by it, trapped within his field of activities based on his karma. And now, chapter 14 reveals in detail how the living entity is limited and controlled by the powerful shackles of material nature, the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. At the end of this chapter, Krishna informs us how to attain freedom from these modes. In the first section, verses 1 to 9, conditioning of the modes is described. After glorifying the knowledge that he will now speak about, Krishna explains the relationship between material nature, the conditioned living entities, and himself. He impregnates the living entities into material nature. The eternal living entity connects with the material energy through conditioning by the three modes of nature. The mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, the mode of passion conditions one to fruitive activities, and the mode of ignorance conditions one to madness. In the next section, verses 10 to 18, characteristics, action, and death in various modes is described. Krishna here explains characteristics and manifestations of the modes in verses 11 to 13, death in the modes of nature, verses 14 and 15, and the results of action in the modes of nature, verses 16 and 18. In the next section, verses 19 to 27, which is the last section of this chapter, transcending the modes of nature is described. One transcends all three modes by knowing that all within this world takes place under the modes of nature, and by understanding that Krishna's activities are transcendental to the modes. One who engages in undeviating devotional service comes to the level of Brahman, of which Krishna is the source. Verse 22 answers Arjuna's first questions about the symptoms of a transcendentalist, and verses 23 to 25 answer his second question as to what is such person's behavior. Verses 26 and 27 discuss bhakti, the method of transcending the modes, and in this way Krishna is answering Arjuna's third question. So this is the overview of chapter 14.